Well, as you can see, it's absolutely dreadful today. Dreadfully warm. Beautiful day here at Eakin. This is Red Hill. May well be moth trapping up here later on tonight. I thought I'd pop out because there's lots of butterflies around. Butterflies are having a remarkable year in comparison to the last 2 or 3 decades, as far as I'm concerned. I've never seen the numbers of butterflies visiting my garden as there are at the moment, and a lot are sort of just passing through. They will fly over the garden, drop into it, have a feed up, and then go. And that's the reason why I'm here. Are there any signs of migration, either north or south? At the moment, it's all meadow browns here. And nice to see too. Well, there's lots of butterflies around. I've not seen this patch of meadowland here at Red Hill with so many butterflies in it, and they all seem to be meadow browns. As I've said, I've not seen this number of meadow browns for many years, decades. And it's surprising people on Facebook will report hundreds of gatekeepers or something. Gatekeepers I'm not seeing particularly numbers out of the the usual. But meadow browns here at Red Hill, certainly there's a lot. One thing that's not about at the moment, not in numbers, are skippers, small skippers and Essex skipper. Large skippers never one for being found in numbers. But whites are the big thing at the moment, large whites. It's a fabulous year for large whites, and I know anyone who grows cabbages will bemoan the fact there's a lot of large whites, but when you've been used to not seeing that many whites in the last few years, it's still nice to see them making a comeback, whether or not they do eat your cabbages. It's just nice to see plenty of butterflies. No sign of anything moving through yet. Lots of activity, but nothing of any discernible direction. And I think if there is going to be any movement, it's going to be large whites. You may well remember that I posted a video last week about looking for the feeding signs of painted lady caterpillars, and the example that I showed, unfortunately, the larval tents were vacated. However, a week on from me doing that video, we now have another brood of painted ladies on the go. It's probably a result of a series of migrations of butterflies coming into the UK and moving up north through the UK. But if you look just here, you may well be able to make out the caterpillar lying along the midrib within its silken tent. This caterpillar is about 15-16 millimeters in length, but there are larger painted lady caterpillars on here. There's numerous webs where the larva have sort of tried to pull the leaf over, or at least covered itself in silk. And there are at least 3 caterpillars that are found, and this one here is the smallest. Well, here's a larger and more exposed painted lady caterpillar. This one is just over an inch long, and we'll have one more molt before going into final install. We're too early for painted lady migration yet, and they may well chuck in another brood even when these reach the adult stage. But we could get a nice period of migration, return migration, in a month or so's time. August is looking most likely. From what I've seen, painted lady larvae are quite easy to find this year, especially if you look on isolated plants growing on field edges. You may well find these larval tents with a caterpillar inside, like this one. It's a long time since I've seen painted lady caterpillars. There you can see it's starting to web itself in on that leaf. Well, I found this one, and this is virtually full grown. I've not seen one as pale or as yellowish as this, but this is a full grown larva of the painted lady butterfly, and I'll be taking this home just to let it pupate or finish growing, and then pupate, and then we'll release it. But quite a size range difference just on this one particular plant suggests that more than one painted lady has been along here and deposited an egg. Lots of ladybirds flying around, but very little in the way of butterflies. It's surprising what you'll see if you just plonk yourself down, just sit and watch. There's a peacock going through, there's meadow browns just gone through. I've had 2 meadow browns just drift over the field, but it's just local movements. There's large whites going in pretty much every direction, and small whites too. But we're too early for any return migration yet. Give it another month. It was early August 2003, had one of the best autumn migrations through the Equine area. Lots of painted ladies, but surprising numbers of other species too, butterflies that you wouldn't presume would migrate. Yet there they were, all racing through southwest on 3rd, 4th and 5th of August, I think it was, 2003. So the commonest species was painted lady. I'm hoping we'll get some kind of movement like that again this year. But other species involved included lots of peacocks, commoners, small tortoiseshells, large white, small white, green vein white. Opened up my eyes that particular day. We tend not to think of other species arriving here from the continent so much. Large whites, most people accept now that, well, they do come from the continent, a lot of them. But just by sitting down at somewhere like this, somewhere that probably looks drab and boring and typical agricultural land to most of you, yet it can still produce stuff. There's a large white trundling through south there, but it could well be a butterfly that is heading south. But I think it's just local movements at the moment. It's just nice to see lots of butterflies, and the movements that I just mentioned in 2003, that was probably all induced by extreme dry conditions that we had. I know the temperatures were in the low 30s, And I stood here for 3 days counting butterflies going through. I think it was 3 days. Quite often butterflies would come this way. If there was a single flower, whether it was one dandelion flower or whatever, they would inevitably land on it, nectar on it, and then carry on through. That's why it's important that we leave plants to flower on field hedges. And I must admit, if it wasn't for the Phacelia fields, there's 3 Phacelia fields within sight of here, there wouldn't be that much to nectar on if they weren't here. But creeping thistle was brilliant as a nectar source, if only it was left. All too frequently, everything is cut down. But I think I've sat here long enough now to know that there is no migration in progress. I could just sit here for a bit longer, just enjoy the sunshine and the warmth, but I don't want the beer in my fridge to get too cold. Don't want it to spoil. Don't know whether you saw that, but that was a peacock. Great to see butterflies in the numbers that we have them currently here in this part of the UK. Very nice to see. But at least I've come now, seeing that there's nothing occurring on the migration front. Butterflies are still producing additional broods, and by that I mean red admirals and painted ladies too. We might have a good autumn of butterfly migration to look forward to. I love migration. Still, lots to see and look out for before then. Time to go and check on my fridge.